It's your boy and Guru in the house, back with another Arsenal news episode. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've got something really astonishing news for you guys, so stay tuned for that. And before I end this video, you will definitely get a lot of information about Arsenal's current transfer targets. I really do a 365 days a year transfer targets. My God, I don't get tired with it because I get excited about new players getting linked with Arsenal or the older ones, the new updates about them. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jurgen Klopp opening up about the usage or the game time for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain tonight against Arsenal. And of course, it's match day, so yes, we're going to talk about it as well. So let's just jump into the news that we have here for you guys. So Mikel Arteta opened up about the transfer window and of course a lot of things that he was supposed to say. He says that we know that there are certain scenarios that can vary and we cannot control. But the plan is to go ahead with what we want in regards to transfers. And I know board fully agree with that and they've been really supportive with us. In some cases we have decided on which players will be available for a transfer, but in some other cases there are things still to be decided. And talking about the Slavia game, Arteta says, Slavia Prague, you've seen the results that they've got against some top sides, some in this country that are in the better positions than us. So that's the level and you cannot get surprised by thinking in a different way. Every game in Europe is tremendously difficult. You have 5 games till you have that cup in your hands, but you have to go game by game because every game in Europe is very difficult. Completely understand and agree with what Mikel has to say. And going on top of it, ladies and gentlemen, while Eurosport claim Arsenal have Sporting Lisbon star Pedro Gonçalves on their radar as they look for fresh options for next season, the main objective, however, remains to go for Martin Odegaard and nothing else will happen until that situation is cleared up. So if we come to know that if we can't get Martin Odegaard at all, we're going to go all out for Pedro Gonçalves, which is our answer to Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United. No, I'm not talking about the penalties, but okay. Moving on, so here are Arsenal's top chance creators. You could see Martin Odegaard creating 17 chances and minutes per chances created for 45.1, which is the least amongst all of them. That clearly tells me that the proper number 10 which was needed is Martin Odegaard. You could see Emil Smith-Rowe second in that list, who creates more often. And then there's Callum Chambers, who's really played the least amount of minutes and has provided 5 chances. Reece Nelson is also good in terms of that. Kieran Tierney has provided created most amount of chances, played most amount of the minutes in that list. Yes, there's Dani Ceballos, Joe Willock, and the least is Gabriel Martinelli. Even Lacazette has created 25 chances, and there is no Aubameyang there, so you could understand what was his, what is his role in the squad or in the playing 11 for that matter. So talking about Liverpool, Arteta says, I think what they have done is remarkable. It's been really intelligent. The way they managed resources and the way they have maximized resources has been exceptional. They have done it really well, and now it is about sustaining that. And he was also asked about if Odegaard's comments about wanting stability and development is a sign that he wants to stay at Arsenal. Arteta says, of course, he remains coy. He says, I don't know. I don't like to read between the lines. I speak with him every day. I see his face, his body language, and he seems really happy right now here. Our contract with him is until the end of the season, but what we have to do is to try to make him perform, develop, and as happy as he can be. Lovely. And talking about Aubameyang's drop in form this season is linked to his new contract. Arteta says, it's easy to connect things like that, but I'm not suspicious of that. I've seen and we have had many conversations about what he wanted to do from last year's point of view to his near future in the next 2 years. And he was very ambitious with that. To maintain that level is really complicated, but he's trying his best. He is trying hard. And talking about Aubameyang's goal tally, Arteta says it is his goal tally has not been what it's been in recent years, and it's a factor that's contributed to by a lot of things the team has to do on the pitch. But obviously we need Oba in a different form to give us our best chance to finish where we want to finish this season. Now, Kerjan Catalan is actually killing it in the training grounds with his finishing abilities. But here's something that I've actually seen this change. So Dani Ceballos tweets out, Time to get back to competition, time to take this step, time to show who we are, time to show what we Gunners are made of. Tomorrow, let's go for all, let's go. He's not used Vamos Gunners at all. Would you believe it? I don't know why, but yeah, he's not used it. So I'm not going to say that I'm proud of it or there's a change that I can actually smell. So Jurgen Klopp hints at a new role for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain ahead of the Arsenal encounter. Jurgen Klopp actually came out and said that, Oxlade-Chamberlain could play as a number 9. So Liverpool man returned to the Reds team as a substitute against Wolves. So he says Ox came on and was a real breath of fresh air. He was brilliant, especially in that position, the number 9 position. So speaking of ahead of the clash, he says he can do that. He did that against West Ham as well. West Ham away, he came on in the same position and did really well there. Ox is obviously a versatile player, definitely more offensively oriented. And that's a very offensive position for him with the speed, the technique, the moves, the turns, the acceleration he's able to do. It's a good position. So strong possibilities of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Could start as a number 9, no, but would come in as a substitute as a number 9. You could see that happening. But here are some of the players, the 6 Liverpool players that will be missing the Arsenal clash, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Jurgen Klopp will welcome Roberto Firmino back into his match day squad from Saturday evening following his 3-match absence through injury. But let's see who are the players that might be missing out against. So Belgian striker Divock Origi and reserve goalkeeper Camohain Kelleher remain on the sidelines alongside 4 long-term injury absentees, which includes club captain Jordan Henderson, groin surgery, alongside Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez and Joel Matip. So these are the players that will not be playing against Arsenal. True story, bro. Moving on, so another Arsenal youngster who made another couple of appearances for Northern Ireland national team over the international break. Now he actually played one of the games as a right back. So Arsenal Academy defender Daniel Ballard is on loan with Blackpool this season, where things are generally actually going very well for him. Blackpool are up into the playoff places, and Ballard has started the last 8 consecutive club games he was available for, with Craig Cathcart and Johnny Evans as a centre-back pairing on the day and Jamal Lewis on the left. Right back was Ballard's only way to start into the starting 11. After a friendly appearance against the United States of America in a 2-1 defeat, he was actually widely praised for that performance that he actually did. So frustrating is what was the word that he used on his Twitter post, but he was actually wonderful for Northern Ireland. So Daniel Ballard as a right back option is actually present, but he's really solid at the back. You give him any position, he's actually really good. So Kieran Tierney has been a revelation since he joined Arsenal from Celtic. This is according to BBC Sport pundit Leanne Crichton. Like most football fans, Crichton was wowed by the defender's contribution in the game. So he says his decision making is frighteningly good. He sees the next 1 or 2 passes ahead. He never at any point receives the ball and then he has to think what he's doing. He can see the game in front of him. You just know he's on a different level from most. The only thing he's not got is that he's not English. If he's English, he would be linked with everybody, and I'm glad that he's not linked with everybody, and I'm really happy that he's at Arsenal, and he needs to stay here, man. He needs to stay here. I mean that's a very good point. I mean, he's not an Englishman. If he was, I would have been linked with literally every club on the planet. But glad that he's not. I am really glad he's not. So moving on. So talking about the decision making, and some of the decision making of one player is really frightening for Juventus, because it looks like Paulo Dybala has no future at Juventus, and the club are fearing that he may look to run his contract down and leave for free, according to Calcio Mercato. So relations between the club and the player now completely have broken down, with the final straw a police fine for attending a house party with teammates Weston McKennie and Arthur Melo earlier this week in breach of Italian coronavirus restrictions. As a result, Juve will look to sell Dybala this summer in order to raise some valuable funds, but are aware that the player could attempt to see out the final year of his contract and leave for nothing in 2022. So this is a strong possibility. Paulo Dybala on the cheap, but I'm pretty much sure for somebody who's actually rated at 60 to 70 to 80 million pounds would be leaving on a free. Juventus fear that, so they might sell him off. But the problem is Spurs came the closest to buy Dybala off last season, but the wages that he asked, I think he asked that much amount of wages because he did not want to go to Spurs, or rather he didn't want to leave Juventus then and there because he believed, the new manager could do something well with him, but it's not working with Dybala at Juventus at all. So let me know what you guys think about it. Should we go for Pedro Gonçalves of Sporting if we don't get Martin Odegaard, or look for Paulo Dybala, which looks like a possibility? It's not a far-fetched idea. So with this, we end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.